Judy on the radio, building dreams and achieving more, telling it just like it is. Most of all, keeping it real. Are you ready for real talk? Changing lives and communities. Real talk. Saving all our families. Real talk. Bringing hope for you and me. Real talk. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio.
Well, good morning, and welcome to the Real Talk with Judy live radio show. I am Dr. Judy, your Real Talk host. Thank you for being with me today, Tuesday, April the 6th, 2021, right here on Hallelujah 95.3 FM, Facebook Live, Instagram, YouTube at Real Talk with Judy live radio. And if you would, take a few seconds on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and go ahead and give the show some likes or hearts. And would you please go ahead and tag and share this show? I promise you it's going to need to be viewed over and over again. There's going to be some powerful suggestions, some powerful input, some powerful comments made. And so go ahead and tag and share right now. I already know what this show is going to look like. Angus, all the way from Scotland, thank you so much for being with us today. Angus is the PR person for the Real Live with Judy show over in Scotland in the UK. So Angus, thank you for being on so soon. And if you're at your desk or your radio, in your car, wherever you are, hurry up and please contact your family and friends right now. Go ahead and do it right now. Call them, text them, email them, and let them know that Dr. Judy talking about real issues with real people, real conversation, and useful information. Just keeping it real is on the radio right now. I'm telling you, go ahead and contact them. Go ahead and share and do all that right now. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I invite you to subscribe right now today, right now, at the Real Talk with Judy live radio show. If you have not liked my Facebook page, I invite you to go do so right now on my Facebook page, Real Talk with Judy. I want to say hello to my Mother Dr. Irma Hunter Wesley. She is the reason I am who I am. And to my amazing husband, Superintendent Dr. Jerry Mandrell, Senior Pastor of Life Changers Church of God in Christ. He is the reason I get to do what I do. And to my amazing team who helps me deliver an award-winning show to a great audience every Tuesday. Thank you all so very much. Thank you, Priscilla, for all that you do. And to each one of you who promote this, thank you. And to you, the greatest audience anywhere, thank you for tuning in. Carolyn, thank you, my baby sister. And to everyone who's on, thank you all so very much for being a part of the Real Talk with Judy show. And to all of the business investing sponsors of the Real Talk with Judy show that's being scroll below. I want to thank you all so very much for your continual support and your continual investing in the partnership of the Real Talk with Judy show. You make the wheels keep going. So I am so happy that you're here. Also, I want to personally invite any of you who have not yet become an investing partner of the Real Talk with Judy show to do so. Okay, you can go to my website, www.realtalkwithjudy.com for more information. For the month of April, I am yet celebrating history-making sister girls. Say hello, Doris Young. Thank you. Sonia, thank you. We will pray for Leonard. We will keep Leonard in our prayers. Pray for my daughter, Krista, to come back home. Sister Sonia, we will join in that prayer with you. My brother, my mentor is on here. Sylvester Wesley, Chico, thank you so very much. He's having the opportunity to tune in today. And we are excited about everybody. My sister Tanya, Al William, and Dr. Araceli, One Church, One Child. Thank you all so very much for being. There's so many people coming on. As we know, March was History Month, Women History Month. But I've decided, since it's my show, to continue celebrating some awesome women and having awesome women coming on my show. And so we're yet doing that. Today, I have 4 of the most amazing and awesome women of Tallahassee who are working to make the people in Tallahassee proud to live in this city and to make the people in this city feel like they're a part. It is my honor and pleasure to present to some of you and introduce to others my distinguished guests, women working to turn Tallahassee upside down in a positive way. Help me welcome my first guest, grassroots leader, mama of 9, mama of a whole community, the one and only Miss Tilipia Edwards.
Hey, Dr. Judy, glad to be here.
Thank you so very much, Sister Tilipia, for being on. We thank you so very much. We're gonna, and y'all, I'm telling you, they have some powerful stuff to say. So we're gonna get this going real good. My next guest, please help me welcome my former co-host of the Real Talk with Judy live radio show. She is the Director of Membership and Engagement Services for United Partners for Human Services. Welcome back as a guest, the one and only Miss LaShawn Gordon.
Good morning, Pastor Jay. Good morning, Tilipia. And hello, everybody out there. It is a blessing to be back again. Looking forward to today.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. I'm already excited. I'm excited. It is going to be great. My third guest is the Executive Director of CCYDC. She's going to tell you all what that means. She is the Executive Director of CCYDC in the Leon County government, Miss Paula DeBose Johnson.
Hi, thank you so much for having me, Dr. Judy. Hey, fabulous ladies.
Hey, girl.
So y'all can tell this. I'm telling you, man, these are some fabulous women. My final guest for this power-packed show is a neighborhood engagement and integration strategist and real estate consultant with Kingdom First Realty, which she is the president, the one and only Miss Christy Henry.
Hey y'all, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sisters Girl. I am so excited to have each of you on here today, and I want to say this. I am continuing celebrating the women this month, April, and I did not tell y'all this, but I am celebrating each one of you today. I am also honoring each one of you because I value you. I think that you add so much to Tallahassee and to the women that you know. And I am super excited to be in the circle with you all to serve this city. But you all come with great knowledge, but your love and your devotion and commitment to what you do, I want to celebrate you today. So Tilipia, LaShawn, Paula, and Christy, today is your day because as the CEO of the Real Talk with Judy live radio show, today is your day of honoring. Thank you for all that you do. You are being honored today.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Judy.
I have an audience somewhere that's clapping on. They are. You got a whole bunch of people clapping for you somewhere. But we're glad to have you. And with that being said, each of you will receive a certificate of Women Worth Celebration and a special gift delivered to you, directly to you, just to say thank you from the Real Talk with Judy show.
We love those Judy gifts, boy.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
So they're
Yeah.
clapping for you. The audience is clapping for you. So, ladies, again, this is your day worthy of celebration. And what we're gonna do, let's get this show started. It is time to get it started. So I want to say some of the people on here know you. Some of the people are meeting you for the first time today. I want you to share with us. I want to introduce yourself to this audience. Let's start with you, Tilipia.
All right, it's always the hardest thing, Dr. Judy, but I'm Tilipia Edwards. I am a grassroots advocate and coalition builder here in Tallahassee. I am wife to the Harold W. Edwards II and mother to 9 wonderful, wonderful children. I'm the owner of the Flower Pot Doula and Vaginal Steam Services, and I am executive director of the Hand Up Project, which is a statewide anti-poverty organization that advocates on the behalf of under-resourced communities. So I hope I did that pretty good.
That was great. That was great. Sister, go ahead. Paula.
Oh, I'm up next.
Yes,
Hello,
ma'am.
everybody. I am Paula DeBose Johnson. I am the wife of the amazing David Lee Johnson. Hey, Sugar Boo. And I have 2 dynamic daughters, which make me proud every day. Dr. Zamoria Johnson and Miss Zanani DeVita Johnson. She's going to kill me for sharing her middle name, but we gave it to her in love. I work for Leon County government. I am their employee engagement and performance manager. That means I'm responsible for training and processes and things regarding professional development for our team. I am also the founder and executive director of the Capital City Youth Development Corporation. We're going on 14 years now, but we provide education, mentoring. We help in terms of service projects. We host events, anything that builds up the whole person and builds up a child. So that's who we are. And thank you so much for having me. I am just excited to be on this panel with these amazing women. So thank you for the invitation, Dr. Judy.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Bowles. LaShawn.
Yes, I am back. My computer just restarted right in the middle. But good morning, everybody. I'm LaShawn Gordon. I'm the Director of Membership and Engagement at United Partners of Human Services. And I am one of those human service nonprofit babies. I've been working in the community for about the last 19 years. And I actually moved here to Tallahassee in 2000. In 2000 for school. I've spent the last 18 years working with At Promise Girls. And then I made a pivot and started helping nonprofits and human service agencies to really build sustainability and capacity. So I love helping people grow their agencies to make them better. I'm one of those people. I gleam from seeing other people succeed. It's really important to me. So if I'm with you, I'm one of those people. You may hear from me every day until you get where it is that you need to go. But that is one of those things that I'm very passionate about. I have a wonderful husband who supports me in everything that I do. He's one of those quiet, behind the scenes, whatever you need, honey. And then I have an 18-year-old who will be graduating in about 6 weeks. So super excited to be here today. Pastor Jay and I work together on a lot of projects, and I have a lot of respect and admiration for her. So thank you.
Thank you, LaShawn. LaShawn made the world turn around for me and a whole lot of people. We're just so glad to have her on here. At this time, we're going to bring one and only Miss Christy. Introduce yourself to us, to the audience.
Hey, y'all. I'm Christy Henry. I am, quite frankly, a manifestation of love that this community invested in me. I came here as a student. And technology school. and from elementary school to the
Christy,
service
I'm
center
hearing what
to
you're
host
saying is good,
department.
but you're going in and out.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm in Lakeland, but I basically am out here in this community from Southside, and so my husband, Christy Henry, college, who is awesome.
And again, Christy, you're going in and out. Maybe you find a new location right there. You're going in and out. She's in Lakeland, you all, taking care of her mom. She went home to check on her mom, and y'all know that that's one of the things that we all are proud of. If we have them living, we do want to honor them. So she'll be back. She gonna make it work. So she'll be back. But to all of the audience, thank you all. There she is. Christy, you back?
Uh-oh. Okay. Maybe
All
that's
right,
better.
go
Is
ahead.
this better?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
Sorry
ma'am.
about that.
That's okay.
Okay,
Start
I'm
over.
outside. Okay. I'm outside. This is funny. My name is Christy Henry. I am a product of Southside, of the love of Southside. I have been living in this community for over 25 years. I've started my work at the Bond Elementary School in the Bond community. I have, through the years, mentored girls and young women in Southside Tallahassee and abroad. And so I married my real estate broker. I got my real estate license, and I married my broker and became a realtor. And we've owned our own company for over 17 years, Kingdom First Realty here in Tallahassee, Florida. And now we are getting into community-based consulting under the umbrella of our company, KFR Consulting. And so I'm really glad to be here with these ladies who I've worked with on some level of community at one time or the other, or currently, and look forward to the exchange.
Thank you so very much. Again, we have such a power-packed panel this morning. And ladies, it is an honor to have each of you. So many people are making so many great comments on here about you. Virginia Daly, our mayor's wife, a great group of ladies today. Tallahassee is so lucky to have you. And Virginia, we're blessed to have you as the first lady of this city. We got Miss Crooms, who's given several of us have been on the African American history calendar at TCC, and we thank you all. Thank you all. All of my sisters are on here, and I am honored to have them. And so let's get into it. One of the things we want to talk about, and one of the things this show is about today, audience, is that we can get so much done, and we can learn to celebrate the differences of everybody. We're all different, every last one of us, but there is a power in being different. Panel, let's discuss that. Let's discuss, and Gabrielle, thank you. Let's discuss the power of being different.
So I'll start with that one because I like a good melting pot, and that's kind of how I see Tallahassee. A lot of people come here for various different reasons, but Tallahassee is one of those places you come and you just end up staying. And it's the same way with leadership. I don't like groupthink, and so I love when different people can get together, different perspectives, because it makes us better. And it takes unique approaches to really, really work with people, meet them where they are, and serve the community. And so I think it's wonderful that everybody has their own little special, my grandmother would say, a little cute way of doing what it is that they do. And that's a good thing. So for me, as I said, it's the melting pot. It's putting all that stuff together, putting it in the pot, mixing it up, and then something good comes out.
Oh yeah.
I love that, LaShawn. And what I'd also add is how boring life would be if we were all the same. We each have our own unique talents and gifts, and it's important that we share that wisdom. And that's how you make things better. When you have people from different backgrounds, different religions, different experiences, different educational backgrounds, those are the things that and the pieces that help you make something dynamic. And for me, it's, and LaShawn touched on it, that's how we make things better. That uniqueness is the thing that makes us that makes Paula Paula. Paula's very different than anybody else on this planet. We're fearfully and wonderfully made. And so when we're talking about being different, let your different flag fly. Be you, do you. He's created you for a special purpose, and you need to walk in that purpose. Stop trying to be like everybody else. That's what I tell everyone that I come into contact with.
Oh yeah, I think you ladies touched on it perfectly, and I say a lot of times to people who say you might be a little rough around the edges. I think that we all come with our own different gifts, and as long as we're showing up and being present and being exactly who we are, we're able to contribute to whatever space we enter, right? Because that's the beauty about differences. When you look outside and you look at the trees and the birds and even the blades of grass, they're all different. And we appreciate that out in the atmosphere and in art and different things like that. But we tend to not like that in our social groups, and even at least let me hang with the people who think like me because I don't want to be challenged. But the Bible says iron sharpens iron, right? And that those irons have to be different graded pieces in order to sharpen each other. And I think that that's what makes us wonderful. When you look at all four of us here, we all have different leadership styles. We all have different perspectives. We all share our viewpoints differently. And I think that adds to the creativity and the wonderfulness of the work that we do and the collaborations that we see happen because of our differences.
Yeah, I think it's really important to remember that when you're doing work in the community, it's not about you anyway. So it's inherent that you're going to be consulting with others. It's inherent that you're going to be listening or you're going to be playing well with others. And so, respecting differences, that's inherent. You learn people's personality styles, but you don't appropriate their personality style as you deal with trying to understand their impact capability. And that is where you want to be at, especially when you're doing community work. It's, people say it's not personal. It is personal. Community work is personal. Nobody on here does stuff in their community or does their job because they don't care about it or they don't have an emotional assent to it. And so as we're looking at our differences, we have to start ascribing strength. You have to start saying, this is about finding strong people that can bring about impact and respecting them in their difference of personality and employing that personality to get to the outcomes. And if we can get to that point, then we can get past some of this emotional hierarchical stuff that we deal with in terms of differences and following.
Yeah, and I was just thinking that, and y'all, this is our conversation with y'all. So many people, I saw Christy, when you put on there that we went to breakfast, I didn't know so many people want to go eat with us. So they know they want to go. So Tilipia, we're gonna have to get this big breakfast together soon, and let's go eat. I mean, well, because this is the conversation we have when we get together, and so you all get to be privy to this now. You all just said something. This is what we want you to understand. Moria put on here that his wife said that great minds think differently. And one of the things that was just stated was meet people where they are and impact capability. And that's what people look for. That's what I look for when we're working. We want the difference, but we want to see how is your difference going to make an impact on what we're doing. And that's with anybody. How are you going to be impactful? We want the differences, but we definitely, Carissa, she would love to definitely join the breakfast. And we're going to make that happen soon. We're going to find a place and we're going to make that happen. And we're going to have a good breakfast. Tamil Brinson, thank you for being here. She's in Orlando, but you can, because she has her own TV show, and you too can come and eat. But y'all, how do we get people to, and y'all just brought us a more, but how do we get people to understand that your difference is important, not just to be a renegade, but to be impactful?
All of us have different strengths, and everyone has mentioned that. Your strengths, the things that you bring to the table, help build that thing or drive that initiative that we're trying to get accomplished. And oftentimes, and you ladies correct me if I'm wrong, we get in our own way because we let the personality stuff. Christique said personal. It is personal work. And if you stay committed to the reason that you're doing this thing in the first place, usually you can get it done. But we let other things like personality, I don't like them, they're from the other side of town. All of that foolishness stops us from doing the work that really needs to be done. And again, if we focus on the mission, and I'm a trainer, I'm a connector, I'm a person that's good at putting people in different places and introducing people. I like to say, hey, have you heard about? So I consider myself a connector. That's one of my gifts. I don't like to see people on the periphery. Pastor Judy, that's your gift. How you do it, I don't know. But you have a way of bringing in people. So how can we get a community project accomplished if the community's not there? If everyone, I don't like dealing with her, I don't like dealing with him. The community has to come together. Somebody has to convene the meeting. And if we put egos aside and use our strengths and our talents, that's it. Leave the rest of the stuff aside. Focus on the project and get it done. That's all I've got. That's it, ladies. Y'all jump in and help me.
So one of the reasons why I love working with grassroots agencies, and that's become one of my favorite things to do, is because I like bringing new people to the table. I think that's one of the things that often happens here. We operate in silos, and then we operate based off of name, and we miss out on people with valuable information and people who are doing great work because of that. So I like to, create spaces for people outside of the normal tables. And so I've met so many wonderful, amazing people in the last year or so who they're doing amazing things, but they were just sitting back waiting. And I'm like, you don't have to wait. Let's just kick open your own door and start your own thing. Right. And then pretty soon people going to be knocking down the door for you to come to all the tables. But I think it's so important to build relationships with people and do away with silos, because people are just doing amazing things. And as leaders, that's our obligation. It is our obligation to really, really motivate, mentor, and encourage people to step out. And to let everything that they're bringing to the table, to the community, how do we get them to the point where they showcase that? I'll hush now because I can run on with that.
Last month I started digging back into some old some of the contemporary writers, and I was reading Audre Lorde, and one quote she says is that we've been taught to fear our own yes. And I think I see that so much in community, right? That we got people who with wonderful ideas or who are doing great work. LaShawn touched on it, was sitting in the back and waiting for their turn because maybe you see, the Tilipias or the LaShawns or Miss Paula's or Christy, and you don't see yourself there. And so you won't give yourself permission to step out and serve. Like, guess what? It's so much work to be done. We cannot do all the work. Right now, people who know our names and people are calling our names or whatever, but that time gonna pass. There are hopefully some young, wonderful people who are watching us lead that are budding with ideas and strategies that are better than ours. It's gonna tell us to sit down somewhere because they can do it better. And I think that's what it's all about. But we got to say yes to ourselves first and trust that what God gave to us is what the community needs. Like a lot of people ask many times, well, how do you decide to do this, or what do you do? I'm like, I just pray, right? And it sounds simple to people, but if I trust as a believer that God has placed me here for something and that He has a purpose for this time, I got to discern what His mind is and where I fit in that. And also trust that, okay, yeah, I'm the person to do it, or to collaborate with the people who can do it to get it done. And so that quote is sticking out of my mind when LaShawn talked. Like, let's not be afraid of our yes. Let's tell ourselves, yes, I can lead. Yes, I can collaborate. Yes, I'm good enough. Yes, my ideas matter, right? So that because somebody in this community is waiting on that person who hasn't said yes to themselves to show up and to be different and to give themselves permission to fall in and help as well?
I think for me, it's a little weird because I never set to be a leader. I just wanted to get stuff done. I mean, I never wanted to be famous for being a leader. I never wanted to, be somebody people looked up to. I just wanted to get stuff done. I didn't want to get on the camera and be in front of the cleanup. It's trash there. Let's pick it up. I don't need lights, camera. I want to be able to know that I did something that needed to be done. And I think that we create this psyche, the wrong psyche, quite frankly, of community building, because it really sometimes ain't about the community. Sometimes it's about folks who just think that this is a great vehicle for other reasons. And I'm not saying that those reasons aren't, whatever they are, but that's what makes people sit back because they think they have to be something to be great. And Martin Luther King has said, we can all be great because we can all serve. It doesn't take anything to go pick that trash up that needs to be picked up.
And one of the things to Christy's point, one of the things I wanted to say is, number one, camera is going to come to everybody who's doing something. I want to really get on that. Cameras are going to come. People like people doing things, and sometimes the person being spotlighted is not doing it for the spotlight. But I want all of you all. That's how all of you all get on the news and all of that. I know that you all not wanting the spotlight, but it's going to come because they see you there. They see you working. The scripture said that let your light so shine that your work be seen that men may glorify your Father which is in heaven. Mm-hmm. So when they see your work, they're going to glorify. People need to know where to come. So they see you working, they're going to come. They see you all doing, LaShawn, they're going to come to you. Paula, you do connect. They're going to come. Christy, we're going to be in that community sweating or cold, but we're going to serve because that mission is to serve the people who want breakfast. They want it. Or bring those computers. Tilipia, you're going to be out there. This is what we do. There is a point that was made, and someone got it on here. Two things I wanted to ask. I want us to talk about, and we're going to talk about meet people where they are as well, because we're going to talk about a lot. But someone made a comment. I think it was Gina. She made one. Sometimes, y'all, we have to tell people what they bring to the table. Are they going to stay in the back because they're not going to feel like they're invited, or they should be the one to that table, or they need to come. The families, I'm training in family affairs. Tilipia was there the other day. Y'all are coming. Others are coming. I'm training them to sit at the table. I don't want them to come to the table cussing and fussing and fighting. No, you got to be strategic. Take the wisdom that you have and learn to sit at every table. Right? And so we tell them what they bring to the table. One of them, she can go. And I'm like, hey, that is good power. Now we need to channel that so you can talk to the community and tell what you want. This is the point right here, Mrs. Connell, I think. You need to know that you can go in and need, and the mission and vision is respected so that all make it happen. I want to talk, and let's talk about that, you all, because I think some people have, they got a perception that they're not invited to the table, only certain people. And sometimes that is very well true. And then the other, that what they bring is not important because they're not certain people. Did that make sense, what I just said? Did that make sense, Lee?
It does.
Okay, I think, would y'all talk to that?
Yeah, I think a lot of it goes back to building relationships. A lot of times leaders are as you're running and you're getting busy, people don't build relationships. And so people don't really know the heart of the leaders. And so I think when you build relationships with people, it kind of eases a lot of those feelings of making people feel like they don't have a place or their mission and vision is not respected, it's not appreciated. And then it also goes back to really being in the community, right? So you
Yeah.
can be of the community, but not in the community. And so I
Mhm.
think as you're really in the community and you're really doing the work, you get a chance to meet a lot of people. And then with that, as you're planning things, as you're doing things, and just inviting people, other leaders come aboard. Hey, come to this event. And also, I've got to the place where I don't want to go to everything. So hey, this event is going on. Why don't you go ahead and represent the commission? Why don't you go ahead? Somebody asked me about being on the board. You up? I'm a send your name. So I think all of that stuff is what kind of helps to ease those feelings for people.
That's true.
Well, I'm gonna jump in, and this, LaShawn said something in the earlier part where she said she's been doing this work for 18 plus years. I've known LaShawn for a very long time, but we weren't always in the same circles. Tilipia, um, probably within the last 3 years or so, she's been doing the work for a long time, but I've just connected with her. Christique, I met Christique when she was an AmeriCorps member. And it took me years to figure out why I knew her. And I couldn't figure it out. And I say all of that because I've been doing the exact same work. I've not deviated from anything that I've done. Mentoring, service projects, working with young people, doing work around healthy marriages. I've been doing this for almost 25 years. The reason people see me now, and I don't call myself a leader, I call myself Paula. Paula will help you if you tell Paula you have a need. I think anyone who knows me will say, she will. Just call her. And if you say women and girls, that's my passion, that's my heart. So I'm right there with you. Anything to empower women and girls. So I've been in this work, doing it for a long time. Nobody really knew, with the exception of the people who were there with me. I had an ally. I had a couple of allies that did what these ladies have mentioned. Paula, why don't you come and do this thing? Paula, come with us here. I want to introduce you to some people. A lot of times people don't participate because they haven't been asked. We say they're not seen. Some people, that's not in their nature to just step up, even when you're pushing them from behind. You have to hold their hand and say, come on, come with me and do this thing. And they flourish from this. They bring other people. And I think that's part of the whole notion of self-branding as leaders. And none of you all do this. Some people do this. The intention is wrong. That might be why things can't get done the way they need to. But people that come with pure motives and say, look, I see you, I need your help, come with me. Sometimes you need that ally to hold your hand and bring you forward and bring you to the table. And I think we all do a really good job of that.
I agree with that. I think so. And I think that's what it's about. I think about this sister girl network that Pastor Judy has, right? And it's women of all ages and races, and everybody is together. And you got people there because somebody told them, "Hey, you need to join Sister Girl Network." But the energy that happens there when everybody is together and everybody just, kind of in their own space, and some shy people and those of us that are outspoken, that keep talking or whatever, and that we learn and we grow and we connect with each other in those type of ways. And that's what I love about all of you here, right? So I was drug into this whole work by Christique, creating the CAN coalition a couple years ago, and still here, and LaShawn has become my mentor, somebody that I talk to and bounce ideas off of, and, talk about growth and where I want to go. All of these things, Miss Paula, who I call my mom mentor. So I watch her from afar and her kids. I'm like, I got to do some of this so I could get these kids, like this, or Pastor Judy, who is motherly in a way, but still is able to maintain that sisterly feel. And that feels good, right? Like I'm in this city away from home, away from my mother, away from my natural sisters. And to have all of this network and to have all of this community and family really feels good. And introducing that to others, I think, is part of our responsibility, to bring people in and to say, hey, look at this, or look at the mistakes I've made, or look at how I'm learning to be human, right? Because I'm learning to be human. I recently experienced a really tough emotional life experience, and I think I was trying to keep it to myself, but I was hurting and I wanted to get it out there, and I needed people to know I'm human, like I'm not superhuman, right? And I think that vulnerability is a key to our leadership, right? When we're sharing, when we know that Christique is on the line and she's at home with her mother, right? And we have other things going on outside of the work that we do for people. So I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be connected and a part of this roundtable discussion today because it's enriching.
Yeah, I agree with Tilipia. I think that this table conversation is a critical one. Can y'all hear me? Because I'm outside and I'm trying. And that's my mama. Hey, mama. I think it's important for us to realize that, relationship is one thing, right? But this community work takes a commitment to love. It takes a commitment to love people even when it's difficult, to love people even when there's a misunderstanding, to love your fellow cohorts. And Tilipia and I have worked together in these neighborhood streets. And it can get rough. People are rough in these neighborhood streets. And you have to have somebody that that is going to speak the words of healing and the words of love that will get your mind back on track, because you'll get caught up in how people are dealing with you. And so I think it's so critical to make sure we're bringing people along. I bring people to any table I could be at. I'll send people to the table. I don't have like that complex that I got to be the one. But I do like to see impact. So I do have some issues in regards to, the work. But I'm dealing with it, and some of my friends are helping me. But I definitely want to make sure that each of these ladies on here know how much I hold them in high esteem. I was raised in community work by a bunch of older women. So I was raised by the motherboard in community. And I think that is different. We have to acknowledge where our raising comes from in terms of our approach to community work. Some of us come from sister and institutional relationships. I was raised by the motherboard. That's why I carry peppermints everywhere I go. They told me to carry peppermints everywhere I go. I was raised by the motherboard. And so when I come to situations, I'm bringing that motherboard experience with me. And I'm learning how to be more contemporaneous with my connections, but I'm used to dealing with the motherboard. So, and there's a lot of other people out there just like me that was raised by the motherboard, and they bring that work to the community. So we just have to be willing to, first of all, see each other, love each other, support each other, and be able to extend that grace if misunderstandings arise, to deal with it and then keep it moving. And I think that's how we continue to keep the silos from being broken and keep the table open.
Yeah, and this is real good. This is real good because one of the things we want to happen in this show, we want all of the audience, whether you're in Tallahassee or not, we want all of the audience to understand that what you have to offer is totally important. You know how I got to meet all these ladies? Other than LaShawn, I think I met LaShawn at Pace Board. No, before that, anyway, I can't remember where I met everybody, but this is what I did. I'm gonna tell y'all how I made the round table. I wanted to bring people to the table, so I just looked at it and just started talking to people. I just started showing up places. I just showed up. They had this, I showed up. I wasn't invited personally, but if I saw something, I went, right? Because I knew that I had something to bring. I know everybody's not like me, but I knew I had something to bring. And I also knew that God had gifted me to bring everybody together, because I heard so many people in the community saying, we need to do that, we need to do that, or we need to do this, or we need to do that. So why not bring everybody that I heard together, right? And so with the sister girls, my birthday party, my 60th birthday party is when it started full. I've been doing it a while. Kind of like Paula said, you do it, and then all of a sudden here it come big, right? And so the first birthday party, Sharon Barron was helping me have it next to Harry's, that little room, and that room could only seat 50 people. But I did a registration and people just start registering. I'm like, really? I mean, they just start registering. It was 50 people, 75 people, 100 people, 200 people, 300 people. I'm like, oh God, where are we going to go? Sharon said, we can't come there because they can't hold everybody. I'm like, well, where are we going to go? Right? And so we end up at New Mount Zion. And we're over 400 women dressed in black, just because that's what I asked. And they all showed up. And then the next day I had a picnic. Who can come? I invite the whole city. It had to be about 600 people out there. So it was so many people out there, a lot of people eating, laughing, and having fun. What were we doing? We were getting to know each other.
Right.
We were getting to know, we were building relationship. And if we're going to work, or if you're going to work anywhere, you got to know people. And we make room for everybody. We let people be seen. We let people be heard. We respect the differences, right? They're not going to do it. None of us do everything alike, but we have a commonality. We care. And this is the other thing, Tilipia. When I had it at, what did I have it at? Christy, what was it? TCC. I hadn't planned to feed anybody anything. We weren't going to eat anything or whatever. We were just going to have another big fellowship. I didn't have the money to feed everybody, but I wanted everybody to come. So I invited everybody. Next thing I know, Christy called. That night we had fried chicken, collard greens, potatoes. We had everything. People was coming. People were just making fun. And the only thing we did all night was talk and laugh. Mm-hmm. I was able to bring them together. That's what I do. Everybody else had to, and that amongst other, but my gift, I could bring you together. And then everybody brought in their own gifting. And now we have a big sisterhood, and everybody calling everybody sister. Black, white, rich, poor, the homeless, everybody. Mm-hmm. Because that's how we connect, without any pretense, any fakeness. We just here to support each other, to build our community. Cindy, my sister from Scotland, says some people need to be invited. It's not about them being enticed. It can many times mean that they may have a belief that their gifts are not good enough. How would you approach these type of people? That's good, ladies.
That's so good. So go ahead, LaShawn.
No, that's a good question. And hey, Miss Cindy, I think that especially as women, we struggle with a lot of stuff. And I love helping people figure out what their gift is and how to birth their gift. And so I think it has a lot to do with one, spending time with people. And then I like to give people homework. If you spend any time around me, you know that I'm like, well, here's some homework for you. Right. And with that, I think a lot of times you have to just encourage people to dream and kind of write it down, write that vision and make it plain, and then follow up with them. There are some people I speak to every day, and that's my role in their life. And then there's some people I check in once a week or once a month. But I think it's finding out exactly what people need, because a lot of times people are at that breaking point of throwing their dream in the garbage. But as a leader, we have an obligation to really, really cultivate and build them up. And so that's ministry, right? That really is ministry. And so those are some of the things that I do with people when people are trying to figure out which direction they're moving in.
Oh yeah, I got my notebook that LaShawn give me all my homework. But I just want to add to that, as a recipient of that type of bringing in. And most people, you know, they view you as a leader and they don't think you need any pouring into or cultivating or whatever. And I can appreciate the relationship and the ministry that LaShawn has been gifted with doing and allowing, like sometimes, you know, I read that quote by Audre Lorde talking about your permission to say your yes. But sometimes you're so busy serving people, you forget about the things you have inside of yourself or what things are truly passions for you, right? Or you've been around people in your life or your family who want to use your gift in the benefit where they trying to go, right? And they don't want you, or not that they don't want you, but they don't encourage you to think about and to dream about the things that you want to do in the as I'm calling squeezing all the juice out the lemon that God has given you. Because even in our service, there are some things God has placed inside of us that we want to actually do. And I think we need that kind of pouring into and that type of, you know, kind of attention and love. And just to go on a little bit on, I grew up in a single parent home, right? Like my mama loved us, but my mama was busy trying to raise us. Okay. So she did not have much time to sit down and to pour all of these things that she may have wanted to do. Even some of the opportunities I have with my own children, my mama didn't have that. And so I find that little girl sometimes needing that loving on or encouraging to say, you love health equity, you love helping people birth babies, like do that. That's your space. Like love it. You can serve the community and it be good for you, but love this as well and develop that and move into that space. And that is something, you know, LaShawn talked about that, but we all need that. We all need it. And we see so much more from ourselves as women, as mothers, as wives, as just community members, when we have somebody that is committed to being that pusher. That's what I call them, pusher for other people.
You know what? I love each and every one of you all dearly. And if I had known you all when I was a little bit younger, I think we could have turned this whole city upside down. But there's still time. There's still time. I wanted to say, and both of you just touched on it. A lot of people don't know who they are.
Yeah.
No, it's that whole to thine own self be true. Who are you? What are you passionate about? And LaShawn said it. If you've not spent some time getting to know yourself, and that's something that I do every day. And I know people are like, you're overthinking it, Paula. No, I have real insights into who I am and what drives me. And if you don't know what you're truly passionate about, what really drives you, you'll be all over the place. Right. And when you're all over the place, that means that the thing that you're really supposed to be focused on, you're not giving it the attention it deserves because you don't know what that focus should be. So I say spend some time, just like LaShawn and Tilipia said, figure out who you are, figure out what drives you. And then there is nothing wrong with spending some time to take care of yourself. I'm horrible at this and I'm paying for it in other ways, but you can't pour for it from an empty cup. You just can't. Take care of yourself. There's nothing wrong with us as women taking care of ourselves, stepping away from your family and saying, you know what, mom or your wife or your sister girl, I need 4 hours. I need 2 days so That's that right. You can pour into you. And so you can give yourself some time to hear what God is telling you. That's if right. You're so busy, you can't even hear him. So how do you know what it is he wants you to do?
That's right.
Wow.
I think what you're saying is so critical, Paula, because I didn't find myself until I started serving. And I think that that's what barrenness is talking about. Sometimes service is a pathway to discover who you are. I was confused. I didn't know I knew what I could do, but I didn't know what I wanted to be. And I found that through service. I found purpose through service. And, you know, you can go in one or two very healthy or unhealthy directions with that. You could either ride or die and kill yourself serving, or you can have somebody that's going to show you, no, baby, just come over here and sit down for a minute. This is how I'm going to show you how you can do this and still live, right? And I think we have to be more of that type of person because we are in a collegiate town and we have a bunch of young people here and they don't know who they are. and their world focus is very self-centered. And in order to develop that empathy and to develop that sense of outward focus, service is a great vehicle to do that. And so AmeriCorps, I give shout out to AmeriCorps, because AmeriCorps was the vehicle that God used to get me outward focus instead of inward focus. Because if we don't do that, and that's what a lot of people are struggling with, in my opinion, Ms. Baroness, people are struggling with their inward value. But service is a great way to win, to experience systematic wins by serving others. And in that, you learn what your strengths, you learn what you really care about, you learn what really matters. And so the more that we give people those opportunities to put them to work, and Talithia, them always, Nicole, always talking about, every time I call you, I know it's gonna be a bunch of work. But that's what I know. I know work. And so when we put people to work and you get them winning, like LaShawn is saying, giving them homework where they can go ahead and have wins in their personal life, that's when you'll begin to see their transformation. That's where my transformation, I know, came from. And so however I can be of assistance to that, anybody that's listening, I'm open to helping anybody. Now, don't be crazy and unrealistic, right? Because anybody got time for that. But if you really want to get in and serve and learn, I am really open, because there's so much work to do. And that's what I believe that we're here for.
Ladies, you would not believe it, or you may believe it. Time has come. And we got to go.
No.
But guess what, y'all? We're going to do this again. We're going to do this again. I'm going to bring them back, because there's so much more to tap into, because we are building this community together. And it takes every last one of us in our different strength, in our different weaknesses, in our different perspective, okay, in our different everything to make this work. And I saw Timothy Mosley on here, Less Fortunate Still Matter. And our job is to help bridge the gap, bring back they say bring them back for part 2. Y'all already getting requests to come back for part 2. For a small fee, I'll bring them back. For a small fee, I'll bring them back. But ladies, we're gonna have to go, and I am gonna have to bring you back, because you have so much more. I want the community and I want this audience to hear from you. I really don't want them to hear this from you. And as we prepare to go, something was stated earlier, and Paula, you with your girls, man, we're proud of every last one of them. Dr. Johnson, all of them. We're proud of your girls. We're proud of your children, Tilipia. I love to see you out there playing with all your children. All of them, and you give all of them time. LaShawn, you and your boy, that's it. Me and Christy and our world. This is awesome, and so we have to invest now, and we're going to go, but we have to invest now. I was talking with a friend of mine, and she asked, "Why don't people like to share?" And we're not going to discuss that right now, because they're right there. But sometimes people don't like to share what they have. People don't like to share how they made it. I heard someone saying here, we talk about your mistake. You talk about your shortcomings. You talk about your past experience. Stories sell. When people hear your stories, they make it. So ladies, I want to say thank you all. And all of us have our gifts. Some have 1, some have 5. I think every last one of us on here have 5. He gave 1 1, 1 2, and 1 5. I declare he gave all us 5. Or 10 or something. But and I want to say this to everybody who's listening. He also gave you gifts. He gave you things that you can make happen. We're coming back because we want you working in Tallahassee. If you don't have, I like that. What Talisia said earlier, you have to say yes to your yes. Is that what he said?
Stop fearing your yes.
Stop fearing your yes. That's going to be a chapter in my book. I like that one. Stop fearing your yes, y'all. And when I say to everybody, show up for you. Show up. You can't show up for anybody else if you don't show up for you. He said to love your neighbor as yourself. Well, you can't love your neighbor if you don't love yourself. Anyway, ladies, it is good Thank you all so very much. Pastor T, Dr. Tawanda Davis said, great show, ladies. You inspire me. Carolyn said, awesome show. They're asking for y'all to come back. My goodness. My goodness. Well, I'm going to bring y'all back. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Let's see. Next Tuesday, I got Kim Moore, the Vice President of Workforce at TCC. So the third Tuesday, if y'all got y'all, they coming back April 20th. April 20th, they're coming back. I don't even know what their calendar is. It will be back on this show, April 20th. I don't know what their calendar is, but you all have brought them back by popular demand. Ladies, did y'all hear the audience asking for you?
We coming back.
There it is. There it is. Thank you all so very much. Thank you all so very much. And we're getting ready to go to lead April 10th. Priscilla, just this one thing. April 10th, right there. Talk quick to leave you right there.
All right. At the Old West Enrichment Center, there will be a pop-up vaccination clinic hosted by Family Worship and Praise Center and the Primitive Baptist Church Association. There will also be a drive-through health expo with health information. Canvases are out. Christy and I are working with the task force to help coordinate and to get information out. And so that people, Christy, what's the line to make good health options?
That's right. For people to exercise good health options.
Yeah, exercise good health options. But y'all, the vaccine is available. I am telling people I was been vaccinated with my first dose. I did a lot of research. I think people should do the research, make informed decisions. I'm tired of wearing masks, so let's get back to normal. Amen.
Don't forget about the pancakes. There'll be a pancake.
Sorry. Go ahead.
We have a pancake pop up too. We will get back with you all. We are going to plan that. We are going to plan that breakfast. We're going to plan that breakfast, and I promise you, it is going to be a good one, and it's going to be real soon. All right. Thank you all so very much for being here, ladies, and we will see you all April the 20th. We will be back April the 20th. Audience, thank you all so very much. And with that, this has been the Real Talk with Judy live radio show. Join me tonight, Bible study. Elder Antonio Witherspoon is speaking tonight. It's going to be good. I see y'all. There it is right there. He'll be the active faith. And that's boy, he's our assistant pastor. So he'll be here. And so I want to thank you all so very much and have a great day.
Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk.